Hi folks, I have a sample repo here. It's a backend API. It's the test is just doing movie CRUD. So in this video, I want to use the JSON schema validator by Sebastian and to try to resolve the issue I'm having. So as you see right now, the part of the schema validation for the post request is commented out because it's failed. It was failed. But everything in my system, like unit tests, um, contract tests with pack, everything is fine, right? But the schema is failing. So let's see why that's happened. So we're going to start the server right here. And then over here, we're going to start the test. And first, we'll just run it vanilla, see it passing. And then we're going to enable the commented out schema test. And we'll see why it's failing. So everything's fine there. And you see, like we do have schema test for the other routes. So like get all has it, get has it, right? Delete has it. They're all fine, but the one for post is failing. So let's just comment this in. It's pretty easy to use. You pass in the schema. It's just the JSON, and then the endpoint and method. Usually that's all you need. Sometimes you might want to pass the status too, but usually this is enough. Okay, so let's enable that. And we get the failures, see what they're saying. So the response body is not valid against the schema. It says your schema at create response required is missing status, and at the same path it's missing movie. So let's look at the schema then. So it says it's missing. Let's just collapse this, make it easier. And we can copy paste some of the patterns. So create movie response under components. Okay, we'll just find that create movie response, see what's there. Okay, so what's required, status and movie are required. Okay, and it shows okay how those should look. So movie should be like an object, and under that object it should be ID, name, and year. Okay, and all those are required too. But basically, in the response, it's expecting a status and a movie, right? That's what it's expecting. So let's see what it's actually getting in the test, which was working, right? So there's no problem in the test, but let's just see what it's getting. So like that first test, the post is getting ID, name, and year. So it's not getting movie and status. Instead, it's getting ID, name, and year. So that's why the schema test is failing. So your API is working, but it's not according to your schema. So if someone is doing some work, taking your open API specification, your schema as the basis, yeah, they're gonna have failures, right? So you're fine testing your own API. That won't be fine if they implement the things according to your schema. So you have to make sure your schema is straight. So I'm pretty confident about my schema because I created it ZOD, right? So, and all the schema, I didn't manually create it. It got generated out of my schema, my ZOD schemas. So I'm pretty confident, right? Like I added the example and description. I identified, what the schema should be, right? So I'm pretty confident in this. So the only other place that may need to change would be my express routes. So if I look at those, let's just minimize this. It's supposed to be this post route. Okay, it's not the error. We don't care about that. So it's probably, this is okay. Now you realize it here, right? We do return the movie object instead of the result. So it's expecting instead the movie and the status, and it's expecting the object basically in one upper level. So it has to be something like movie, right? Let's just do this. And then, this will pass one of those failures. And then the status also. And so I believe this would be exactly matching what the schema is. So if you look at the schema, again, right? So great movie, great movie response, right? Great movie response. Just collapses for a second. So at the end, it has to return status and movie. This way, it will be returning status and movie. And so we'll just try this way. So this time it did pass the schema test. And then we see that there's status, there's movie, you see the properties on it. But I guess we have to change our assertions a little bit because now let's just use tab right here, see what is returning. The Cypress Math from Clips plugin. And it just makes it easy for me to see what's happening. So yes, we have a body. So under the body, there's status envoy. So we should build the body here. It's body. Okay. And then that part will probably be okay now. It doesn't have one. Let's start again. Body status movie. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that when we say its body, it should be giving us the body. No, it's response, obviously the body is not. So yeah, this is body, and this is going to be the movie. Get that object correct. Yeah, so this is fine. Okay, we already yielded the body here. And then let's see what this is giving us now. Body is fine, it's just having, no, actually this is not fine. Let's just tap this port. Okay, so if you want the ID, we have to yield it out of movie. So of course, this has changed slightly. So instead it has to be movie ID. I mean, we passed the schema test. Now we're just updating the test so that we can work off of the data in a correct way. All right, beautiful. So now the schema is passing and the test has been updated and the route has been updated to match the schema. So this is why you want to do schema testing on top of your API end-to-end testing. And if you're using Sebastian's plugin, it makes everything a lot more streamlined and easier. That's all. Later.